Joyful, joyful Monday. Joyful Monday. Happy, happy Monday. Happy Mindset Monday. Happy Momentum Monday. Happy Make It Happen Monday. Whatever you want to name it, that causes you to have some motivation, some encouragement, some forward momentum. And I see my partner has joined us, so I'm going to let her in. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello there.
Hello, hello,
Looking good on the move.
hello.
Yes.
Oh, you said Happy Monday or whatever you want to name it. And I was like, right, right. That's how
Right.
I'm feeling
Yeah,
today.
well, I
But
mean, I went through all the Momentum Monday, Mindset Monday, Magical Monday, Make It Happen Monday, whatever you want to call it. We are
right,
here. We are
right.
making it. We are alive.
And I have my chauffeur. Hey, chauffeur, say hello.
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 Hi. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You have your queen with you
Okay,
Yeah.
today, rolling around with you for
yeah.
your appointment.
Okay, I say he had an appointment, and I was like, let's do it. So
Hey, let's
here
make
we
it
are.
happen.
Okay.
Teamwork.
Hello.
Yes.
That's what I do.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for sharing your beautiful wife on this magical Momentum
Yeah.
Mindset Monday.
Yes,
Thank you.
and don't forget though, he's going to be bringing me out there sooner or later to make it.
Yes, because we
So
got to
We,
hook up
we
at the
love
Temecula
Temecula.
winery.
right,
My
right,
place.
right. So go
Yes.
do that, and I'll do this. Awesome, awesome. All right, love. I'll start if that's cool.
Yep. Take it
Wait,
away.
okay, I'm gonna take it. I got my whole list right here. So wait, I'm stuck in the seatbelt. Hello. All right. We just make it happen here. That's what we do. All right.
We
So
do.
the first question that we have is, how can I differentiate between healthy self-reflection and overthinking? And actually, I love this one. I love a lot of things, but I really do love this question because the response that I came up with is healthy self-reflection involves evaluating your thoughts and behaviors constructively and leading to personal growth. While overthinking often leads to focusing on the same negative thoughts without resolution. To differentiate, set a time limit for reflection. If your thoughts provide insights or actions to take, it's constructive. If they lead to anxiety and remain unresolved, it's likely overthinking.
Mhm.
So that was my whole thought was that is that if it leads to being productive and it provides action plans and insight, then I think that you are on the course of self-reflection versus overthinking. So that was my take on that question.
I agree with that. Whenever it's causing you overwhelming and anxiety and
Right.
detrimental to you, then that's when we need to pause and pivot and
Right.
adjust. So I definitely agree with that.
Perfect.
Okay. Question number two, coming from a caller out there. No. What is the importance of setting emotional boundaries in relationships?
Mhm.
Setting emotional boundaries is essential for maintaining your mental well being. It allows you to protect your emotional health by defining what is acceptable and not acceptable in your interactions and your relationships with others. This can prevent from feelings of being overwhelmed or drained by others' emotions and can foster healthier, more respectful relationships. So when you go into a relationship, not having any guidelines
Mhm.
of what's acceptable for you. Certain people, it's acceptable for them to call you out your name
Mhm.
when they address you. Certain how we grow up, hey, what's up? What's up? And for
Right.
certain people, that's not acceptable. But
Right.
if you go into a relationship and you're not clear on what works for you, and what doesn't work for you. When someone does something and you don't address that and you're not clear with yourself and with them, it's going to cause you stress within that relationship because you're not putting it on the table
Right.
with them or with yourself. What do you like? What don't you like?
Right.
How do you want people to address you? How do you want people to speak to you? If you're not clear and you don't have those boundaries for yourself and express them in a healthy way with others, it's going to have a detrimental effect on your relationships.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you. I think setting those boundaries right out the gate is so important because if you miss that opportunity, it's more difficult to try to set boundaries after the fact, right? So I 100% agree. Set those boundaries as soon as you start that relationship and have an idea of what it is that you do like and what you don't like, and don't deviate from that, right? So I agree.
And it's
Yes.
and it's okay though if you are in a relationship and you don't learn till weeks or months or later
Well,
on,
that's true.
because sometimes experience
That's
and
true.
things happen
Right.
that show you what you like and don't like.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go through something with somebody to be like, hey, that bothered me.
Right.
I didn't like how that made me feel. Can we work on that?
Right.
So it's okay if in relationships you did something 2 years ago and now in year
It's
three
not,
it don't work for
it doesn't
you
work
and it don't
anymore.
sit well with
Right.
you. Speak up and communicate that,
Right.
hey, I used to do this. We
Right.
used to dance like this, but now we got to dance a little different
Right.
because this don't work for me anymore.
No, I 100% agree to that totally,
Mhm.
and you're 100% on point with it because things do shift and they do change, and relationships do evolve. I think that my point was is that when you are entering into a relationship, I think that especially women, I don't know, and maybe you'll agree or disagree with me with this, we get really like, oh, I'm in love and I'm just this and he's all that and he's this. Da, da, da. We change. We just do. And I think that it's so important that we understand that coming into a relationship, if that person is already acting contrary to what you like, don't just tolerate that. Don't just accept that thinking that it's going to change one day, right? And so that's where I was coming from with my thought on that. But you're 100% right, things do evolve,
Yeah.
the relationships evolve, and they do change. So,
Yeah.
spot on.
But I agree with that too.
Yeah.
If you come into something and something
Yeah.
bothers you from the gate
Echo.
and you don't address it and you
Right.
settle for it,
Right.
then 3, 6, 9 months, 15 years down the
Right.
line, you'll have more work to do because you didn't address that initially.
Right. Right. So, yeah. So, no, 100. I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Question 3. How can art be used as a tool for mental well being? Art can serve as a powerful form of self expression and a way to process emotions. Engaging in artistic activities, whether painting, writing, or music, can act as a therapeutic outlet for feelings that may be difficult to articulate. This creative process can help reduce stress and enhance mood by allowing individuals to explore their inner experiences safely. One of the things that I actually I was doing, and I kind of stepped away from it, but I'm going back to it, is painting. And I'm not Van Gogh, Picasso. I'm none of that. No, I'm Frankie, and I just throw things on the canvas. It's nothing like I said. I don't spend a lot of money on it or anything like this, but I found in painting things to be my mind just relaxed, and it wasn't about staying within lines and making sure the color codes and palettes and all that. It wasn't any of that. It was just throwing some paint on a canvas, and in doing so it took me back to being a younger person where I didn't have any cares in the world. I didn't care if I was outside the lines or inside the lines. So I like this question because I believe that painting or doing some other activity that's creative allows for people to release that inner child and go back to being innocent and calm and relaxed and not concerning yourself about, oh, the bill is due tomorrow, oh, I got to take care of this later on today. So I encourage people to uh, participate in any creative outlets and activities. So that was my response to that question.
Yeah. And I love that. And I agree. And I'm no Van Gogh either, but I love me a good painting sip.
Right,
And
right,
I got several paintings that
right.
I got around, and so it is a way of creative
Yeah.
expression. It is a way of stress release. It is a way to move emotions
Right.
around. So I love that.
Yes.
Question 4: what strategies can help cultivate a sense of belonging, especially in new or challenging
Mhm.
environments? To foster a sense of belonging, actively seek communities that align with your interests or values, whether through classes, support groups, or volunteer opportunities. Additionally, initiate conversations with people by sharing stories or experiences, which can create connections. Lastly, practice vulnerability and openness, which can invite others to reciprocate and help you build deeper relationships. So yeah, if you are in a new environment, you move to a new place, you start a new job, what are your interests or values, and how can you align with other people around them? So find a class. If you like art, find your art class. If you like photography, find a photography class in your area. If you like to paint, find you a painting sip. There are things like Eventbrite. There are like meetup.com. There are different places that if you like animals and you move to a new community, find an animal shelter that you can volunteer with. If you like being in service and you're starting in a new area, find a homeless shelter where you can be in service at. If you have a new job, find those coworkers, ask them, so what do you got? I like poetry. Are there any things in the area for people that like poetry, any spoken word? So whatever your interests are, whether it's at work, whether you're moving, whether you're in a new environment or a space, go online, ask some people, find those environments, find those people that you can cultivate those new connections, that you can reciprocate, that you can be vulnerable. Hey, I'm new to the area. I don't know this place like this. Can you help me? Can you show me? Sometimes, like, I've gone to the gym, and when I want to work out in a new area of fitness and I don't know how that machine works, if I see somebody working on it, I might say, hey, this is a vulnerable moment. I'm new to this machine. Can
Right,
you show me how this machine works so I can work out in this area? So you have to be open to cultivating new experiences and new relationships. And don't let fear hold you back from
right,
having those new
right.
experiences.
Right. The key is find your tribe, right? Because the tribe is not going to come knocking on your door. You need to get out there and find your tribe. One of the things that I learned when I moved here to Arizona, and I found very, very helpful, and this is going to sound probably kind of weird, but I went to the library. And at the library, they had an array of things. And that's why I heard about that meetup. You mentioned it, the meetup and that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. But there's a ton of resources out there. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to get up and make the effort and not let fear, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
hold you back. So
I'm
perfect.
always Googling like
Right.
free things near, and I put
Right.
in my zip code,
Right.
free things in my city, free things in my zip
Right.
code. And so I'm always finding free or low cost or
Right.
whatever. And sometimes I'll expand like to a city outside of my zip code, like right outside of my zip code. So
Right.
then and then you have to be okay with doing stuff by yourself if you don't have anybody else to do things with. Remember, you were cultivated in the womb for like
Right.
40 weeks in there. It ain't 9 months, 40 is 10.
Right.
They lied. You were
Right.
cultivated for up to
Right.
40 weeks in there, most of us. And you
Right.
were alone unless you had a twin. And even if you had a twin, y'all still had y'all separate sacks and things
Right.
going on inside of the womb.
Right.
So don't be afraid to have new experiences and to go smile at somebody in a room and say, hello,
Right.
my name is. You don't have to wait for a partner. You don't have to wait for a friend to try something new, because you
Right.
might meet somebody new when you go out to that new experience.
Right. No, and I think that's in one of our tips too. I think that's coming up here in a second. So don't be afraid to do stuff alone. So
Yeah.
perfect.
All right,
Yes.
moving right along to
Moving
our
right
tips
along
and tools for the day.
to the tips and tools for the day. So the first tip is, can we hold on a second?
Oh, you want me to get
Yeah,
out?
no, stay. Let's see here. Create. Oh, here we go. Create a mindful minutes jar. Write down activities or practices that bring you joy or relaxation on a slip of paper and place it in a jar. Whenever you need a mental break, pull one out and engage in that activity, making self care spontaneous and enjoyable. This reminded me of there was a prayer box that you write down your prayers and you put
Or
it
I
in a
have my
box.
gratitude jar
Right,
that I write
right,
down
or
things I'm grateful for, and I put it
right.
in the jar.
Right. So
Hmm.
this is just like that, right? So you're just going to write down mindful thoughts, right? Things that you can do for yourself or with others, but for yourself. This is what we're talking about: self care and self resilience and reliance. Write it down, put it in that jar, and then when you feel like, hey, I need to do something, pick something out of that jar and go do it. So I actually like this one because, like I
Yeah.
said, the gratitude jar and the prayer box, same
Hmm.
difference.
Yeah.
So that's there we go.
I love that because I even did a Jamila Gym the other day about your love
Oh,
list, writing
awesome.
down things that you love and like to do, and
Right?
then slowly over time just picking things from your love list that like it could be low cost things, going to the park, reading a book under the tree, going to get an icy,
Right.
buying a cookie, like eating some ice cream. Don't eat ice cream every day,
Ah,
people. Go through your
ah,
list and
man.
rotate through your list,
Ah,
okay?
man.
But I love that a
Good.
mindfulness jar. Okay.
Yes. Mindfulness.
My tip for mental health would be host a gratitude dinner. Invite friends or family for a special meal where everyone shares something that they are grateful for. This fosters positive connections and shifts the atmosphere to one of appreciation, joy, and it enhances emotional bonds. You do not have to wait till Thanksgiving to get together with friends and family and to talk about what you're grateful and
Right.
you're thankful for.
Right.
You could have a small dinner at home, a small picnic in the park, and then just talk about what you're grateful for. Just talk about what you're thankful for. Again, that's going to strengthen the bond with your friends and family,
Right.
but then that's going to be a uplifter for you, a mood booster for you. So I love that. Plan a gratitude dinner or a gratitude lunch or a gratitude spa day with your friends.
Right? No, I seriously, I love, 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 love it because, like you said, you don't have to wait until Thanksgiving. I think people are, "Oh, well, I'm grateful on Thanksgiving." No, you should be grateful and thankful year round. So plan those dinners, plan those brunches, those lunches, whatever, the spa day. I love the spa day idea.
Mhm.
You just gave me an idea. Temecula.
Yes, here we come. And there's a spa right in by Temecula that I go to, Marietta Day Spa. It's like a hop and skip because Marietta and Temecula are
There
neighbors.
we go.
So whenever you ready to go spa,
That's what I'm saying.
yes,
So spa day, I
salon
love that.
trip and spa.
Right? No, I do. I love that. So, yeah, gratitude dinner, spa day, whatever you need to do.
Yep.
Um, but just show gratitude, right?
Hmm.
So let's see here. Oh, number 3. Use sensory engagement. Incorporate activities that stimulate your senses intentionally. Yes. For example, try cooking a new recipe with vibrant ingredients, using essential oils for aromatherapy, or listening to different music genres to enhance your mood and connect with your feelings. I love that tip too. I love all our tips actually. So, because they're all just so beneficial
Hmm.
to our self care and helping us to maintain our own mental health. But the sensory engagement, when I thought about this tip, my thought was also getting out in nature and just standing outside, whether you are standing in grass or standing on dirt or whatever, and just notice the birds and hear the sounds and the smells and all of that. There's this particular bird. I do not know the bird's name. I have no idea. But every time I hear it, I just feel so happy and so calm. And my husband will tell you, and anybody else that is around me will tell you, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, that's my bird. That's my bird. I'm not a bird person. I'm not a bird watcher. Don't know. But getting out in nature, hearing nature, seeing nature, feeling nature to me is and also adding to the sensory engagement. So that's my tip.
I love that. I love that. I often like we talk about like I have some essential oils right here.
Right?
So sometimes in the middle of a session, after a session, I just drop me some orange right here. Give
Yes.
me a little mood boost, some sweet orange or some lemon. So find you an essential oil or find you a bird. Get
Right.
out and find you something that can help you, stimulate your senses and stuff. So I love that.
Yes.
Ooh, that sweet orange. It just gave me a boost real quick. Okay, so my
Okay.
last tip is take
Yes.
yourself on a mental health date. And you know I love this. Set aside time each week to do something just for you. Not for your mama, cousin, sister, auntie, brother, husband, kid. Just for
You.
you. Whether it's visiting a new cafe where you get a new cup of coffee, or where you reading a new chapter in your book, walking through a botanical garden, like you said, getting out in nature, exploring your local museum, even just going to the park and pulling out a journal and just writing in the park. Treat yourself to like a personal date that's just for you yourself and I. This intentional alone time fosters self connection, self empowerment, self esteem, self efficacy. Self, you are a self. It helps create like your independence. Like you can do things by yourself. You don't always have to do things with your kids or with your family or with your spouse. It's good to do things with others, but again, you came as a self. So it's also good to do things with
Right.
yourself, and that it reinforces that your well-being is worth prioritizing. There were times in my life that I thought it was wrong for me to make myself a priority. There were times in my life that I thought I had to save the world, that I thought I had to save people, that I thought that I had to be a martyr. Like, I don't know, I thought I was Jesus in the Jesus sandals or something, that I thought that everybody, that everything had to be above me and that I had to put myself last. And so by doing things like this, I learned how to reprioritize myself, that it had to be God, whoever your source is, whoever powers you up, and me. It had to be the source, then it had to be me, because from me and source stems all things. I
Right.
cannot be the best partner I can be to someone if I am not the best self for me.
Right.
I cannot be the best mother because I didn't come out as a mother. I didn't come out as somebody's girlfriend or somebody's wife. Okay, I came out through some people, through my mama. I came out through her, and then but I was a self,
Self.
so I had to get back to prioritizing myself,
Right.
and I actually had to learn to be alone with self. I was such a people pleaser and such a martyr early on in life that I could not be alone with myself, and I
Mm.
always had to be around people and I always had to do stuff. And it wasn't actually until my mom died that I had to learn how to be alone with myself and sit with myself and have solo dates with
Right.
myself and learn how to deep breathe with myself. So set a time each week. It doesn't have to be hours.
Right.
You can find 15 minutes in a week. And if you can't, that's another personal problem. You might have to DM me to find that time. I will find you 15 minutes. Find you 20 minutes in a
Right.
week that you could just set aside and just have some alone time. Date yourself. Oftentimes I hear somebody saying, like, well, I don't want to go to the movies by myself. First of all, you're in the dark. Who the heck gonna see you? Second of all, go in the back, go in the front, go in the middle. Like, again, who is watching you watch the movie in the dark by yourself? If
Right.
you worried about going to the movies by yourself and it's the
Right.
dark, like
Right.
that's the best
Right.
place to be. That
Right.
you can date yourself. If I said go to a crowded restaurant and sit in the middle of the room, that might be hard. I've done that before too. I will go to a restaurant and I swear I will put my Pandora on and I will order me a drink and some appetizers and I will be taking pictures of myself and videos of myself all by myself. But I had to learn how to
Let's
do
do it.
that.
Right.
I had to learn
Right.
how to set time for me,
Right.
to be alone with me, to
Right.
love on me. And I do that and I date myself every week. So
Absolutely.
find time to date yourself, to love on yourself, to spend time with yourself. It will make you a better spouse, a better mother, a better worker for whatever job that you do. When you take care of you, it helps you to take care of others. So put on your oxygen mask first and find some time for you this week.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I used to have trouble the restaurant thing when I was single and all that good stuff. I would have well, even married, but when I was single, that's where I noticed this is that I was single and I was like, if I go to a restaurant by myself, people are going to judge me like she has no partner, she can't have a boyfriend, right? And the first time I did it. It was awkward, but it was so well worth
Mm-hmm.
it because I walked out of that restaurant. Well, actually, I sat in that restaurant like I owned a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, no, I can do this. What do I need anybody else here for? And then I noticed that I started catering to what I like to eat, not overeating and all that good stuff. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to have the 3 course or 4 course meal, and I'm going to enjoy the taste of this food in this time right here that I'm spending with myself. So when I left that experience, I learned that if I can't be alone by myself to take care of myself for the mental health purposes, uh how can I be with someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
That to me, it was kind of like, yeah, if I can't tolerate being alone with myself, how's anybody else going to tolerate being
Right.
alone with me,
And that
right?
is the
Right?
ultimate act of self love,
Right?
being alone
Right.
with self.
Right, right. So I love that tip, and I encourage you and everybody, get out there, date yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it
So
yourself.
perfect.
Oh, so unfortunately, people, my Frankie is going on vacation with her hubby. Some tropical, exotic, out of the
Someplace.
country place. So I'm gonna let her tell that. But we will not be here next Monday
Right.
and the following Monday
Following
either,
Monday.
right? So for two
Right.
Mondays, oh
Oh my
my,
goodness. I know, I
you might miss
know.
us. Go ahead and inbox your questions so we can
Right?
be prepared when we come back for the following Monday.
Hello.
Send Frankie and her hubby some traveling grace and mercy and
Thank
some good
you.
energy. Where are you going? Where are you going again?
So we're heading out to Lisbon, Portugal.
Okay.
And it's been on my bucket list, and we're finally doing it. I'm excited about it. I know he's excited about it. But I am gonna miss our Mondays. And I was trying to figure out, like, how can I work this in? But then I was like, no, Frankie, pump the
No.
brakes.
Look at
I'm
me at the
out.
airport trying to work with you. Like,
Right?
it's okay to take a vacation.
It is. It really truly is. So we're off and running this week, and I'm excited and I'm happy about it. But I will miss our Mondays. But I will find you. I will find you. I know how to get in contact with you. So I can't do that today because I only have one hand and yeah. So, all right. So you can do it for
Yep.
me too. Thank you.
So,
Don't worry,
guys,
we'll
if
find
you
you.
have questions that you would like the world renowned international transformational coach answer, Miss Frankie, please DM her or me.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you have any
Right.
questions that you want us to answer that you feel, uncomfortable with, or you just want to shed some light to, please ask us. We're going to post this live on our
Right.
page. You can ask us questions on there. Miss Frankie has lots of journals and workbooks and things that you can check out in her stand store in her bio. Please go to my bio. We have mental health tips and tools,
Right.
and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes. And you know what? Check back in. I mean, seriously, we already have some pre-posted stuff out here. So take a look at those things over the next couple of
Yeah.
weeks.
Oh
Right?
my God, I'm gonna miss
I know.
you.
I was like,
Get it?
I'm,
Like,
I'm going to miss you
I'm gonna
too,
be getting in
Lena.
your suitcase or something. I'm gonna have to meet y'all at the airport.
I'm going to
You
miss
gonna
you
have to
too.
oversize it though, because I'm a big girl. You have to pay the oversized fee to get me
Okay.
into the bag.
I'm leaving now. I'm leaving now. So I love you so
Love
much,
you
and
too. Have a good day.
I will be in contact with you, my love.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.